So for the past 2 weekends, I've been filming both days, Saturdays and Sundays, full days, and I wanted to tell you what that looked like because it wasn't all very glamorous. It was just me in my living room with my fiance, with my dog, Molly. And I have to tell you this, wearing no makeup now, because those of you who follow me on Instagram know that I almost never wear makeup. It's not something I do, but Carly, who is also my producer, told me it makes a big difference on camera, so I listened. And when I look back at the footage of the new C1 course, she was right. And I hate that she was right, but I felt unstoppable in those videos. So maybe there is something in it. But here's why I'm really telling you about all of this. Because in January this year, I made myself a promise. I told myself I was going to create the most successful C1 Advanced course in the world. Not just a good course, not just another collection of videos, but the most complete, the most effective, the most human C1 preparation program that exists anywhere. And that's what I've been building these past 2 weekends, filming from morning until evening, even losing my voice a little bit, surviving on my mom's meatball soup and whatever food was put in front of me. And this is what that promise looks like in real life. And I'm so proud of what we've made, and I want to tell you a little bit of what's on the inside. Not everything, of course, because you'll have to wait for that, but enough so you understand why I haven't slept very much lately and why I would do every single second of it again. Now, most C1 courses do one thing. They give you practice tests, maybe some grammar explanations, maybe a few tips, and that's fine, but it's not enough because passing C1 is not one skill, it's many skills, all working together. And if any one of them has a gap, then it shows up on exam day. So this program goes very deep into every single part of the exam, into reading, writing, listening, speaking, use of English, every paper with a clear strategy for each one, not just general advice, but a specific step-by-step approach. But it doesn't stop there. I mean, we go into the grammar that you actually need for C1. Not all the grammar, but the structures that Cambridge actually wants to see. The small mistakes that quietly lose you marks, and how to use those structures accurately so your score goes up, not just your confidence. And then we did vocabulary as well, specifically for use of English. And this part I'm especially proud of because we don't just teach you words, but we teach you how to remember them long term using scientifically proven methods. So the kind that are used in memory research. So the words actually stay in your brain, not just for the exam, but for real life. And then there's the AI module. So I built ready to use prompts already written for you. You just paste your task, paste your writing, and you get exam style feedback in every category Cambridge marks you on, plus specific things to work on next. So no more writing essays and not knowing if they're good enough. No more guessing where your marks are going, because I tested it while we were filming and I kept stopping to show Carly. And she literally kept saying, Izzy, please focus on the video that we're filming now, because I couldn't believe how good it was. And then we've got the live support. So every single week you get classes with me, weekly sessions where we go through the exam together, answer your questions to make sure that you're on track. But it's not just me. There's a dedicated grammar expert, a specialist, not just a teacher, but someone who knows C1 grammar inside and out with their own classes inside the program. There are writing classes, structured sessions where you can actually practice and get live feedback, not just watch and take notes. And then there's the speaking classes. So this is the part that makes me most excited to tell you about, because the speaking classes are run by a real Cambridge speaking examiner, someone who is sat on the other side of that table, who knows exactly what the examiner is writing when you speak, and who knows what pushes a good score from B to A and from a C to a B as well. So you're not just practicing speaking, but you're practicing with someone who knows the exact criteria you're being judged on. Now, I made a promise to myself in January, which was to create the most successful C1 Advanced course in the world. I feel like this is it. And I want to tell you about one of my students. Her name is Barbie, and she's from Hungary. And when Barbie came to me, she was not a confident person. She was shy, she doubted herself, and she had just one goal, and that had nothing to do with grammar or exam scores. But she wanted to move to Denmark, and she needed the C1 to get into the university of her dreams. So she worked through my exam strategy course. She joined live classes with me. She followed the system. She showed up even on the days that she didn't believe she could do it. And then she sat the exam and she passed. She got 191 in reading, 193 in writing, 186 in listening. And she sent me a message that said, "My dream of studying in Denmark is coming true." And I read that and I had to stop for a moment because that's why I do this. Not for the scores, but for the life that comes after those scores. Because Barbie didn't become a different person overnight. She didn't suddenly wake up confident. She just had a clear system and she followed it. And when I was sitting there filming this week, I kept thinking, the next Barbie is watching this video right now. Maybe that person is you. And here's the part where I ask you for something. This program opens on the 7th of May, so just 17 days from now. I haven't talked about it much on YouTube because honestly, I've been too busy creating it and building it, but it's almost ready. And I want you to be the first person through the door when it opens. There is a wait list, and the people on the wait list get an exclusive offer when the course goes live, something that the rest of my audience will not receive. And the price on launch day for waitlist members is different to the price for everyone else. And once that door closes, it closes. So I'll leave the link in the description down below and also up here in the corner. It takes just 5 seconds and you're not really committing to anything. You're just making sure that you are first. And I want to say one more thing before I go, because if you've been preparing for C1 and it feels hard, if you feel like you're studying but not improving, like you do know what to focus on, but the exam is big and overwhelming and you cannot wrap your head around everything, well, that feeling isn't because you're not smart enough. That feeling's because no one's given you a clear system yet. And that's what this program is. Just 17 days. Thank you for sticking with me during the silence of the last 2 weeks. I promise you it was worth it. And there's a lot more coming between now and the 7th of May. More videos, more content, more behind the scenes of what we've been building. So if you're not subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button now. Drop a comment and tell me what's the one part of C1 that feels hardest for you right now. Because I read every single comment and your answers genuinely help me. Guys, I'll see you very soon.